I fucking love intro movies. It's not something you see as often anymore, or in such an overt way as what I'm calling an intro movie. Think like your favorite PS1 game, you know? It probably has a cool intro movie that you may or may not have watched every single time you turn the game on. I'm the kid who always watched the intro movies. I'm the adult who still does watch the intro movies. I love these things. They're so cool. They're like a little music video showing you the game you're gonna play. Some of my favorite intros really nail exactly the mood and the type of intro they needed to go for their respective games. And the further back you go, often the more experimental they get. It's fun. Hi, I'm the robot from the intro to Heavy Nova on the Sega Genesis. I'm here to talk about intro movies, because that's my special interest. And someone has to be that guy. As a warm-up, I'm going to talk about a specific one that's near and dear to my heart, Shogo, Mobile Armored Division, from 1998, made by Monolith Productions. They made Fear, that gun game with the ghosts. Did you know that Warner Brothers shut down this studio like back in February of current fucking year? Did you also hear about Microsoft just now, like this month, putting 9,000 people out of a job? This shit sucks. Fuck the video games industry. Long live video games. Anyway, this game is I guess I'm going to call it a boomer shooter. It expects you to be really generous with your quick saves because they made you just about as killable as the enemies. It plays good. Especially if you want a goofy game where you get in a giant robot and you smash guards by stomping on them and shooting them with bullets of a larger caliber than their fucking torso. Where was I? I'm going to do something slightly unconventional for YouTube terms, but I'm going to get us all on the same page before analyzing the intro itself. And to do that, I'm going to let it play in its entirety. And if I get copyrighted, I'll work it out later. I consider intros an art form of their own kind, and I want to put respect to that. So grab some popcorn. We're going to watch the intro, okay? I love that song. This is a company based in Washington, by the way. This is an American game. Let that sink in. I think this shit is hilarious. There's a lot I want to talk about and kind of analyze. I'm going to do it kind of shot by shot. So let's take it to the top. We start off with a fancy logo for Lift-Tech Engine. This was the first game to use Lift-Tech. So basically all of Monolith Productions' later first-person shooters owe it to Shogo. We see a close-up of an old general guy. I don't know if he's important. He's an old general. There's a shot of a giant robot running towards the camera, which I think is pretty cool. Now I know there's giant robots in the game. Maybe the general sends giant robots to war. And the music syncs up with the reveal of the logo and the main characters on this nice cover art of the game. Whoever drew that, good job. We see little army guys, so we know war is happening. A shot of the general and a few different army guys. The guy on the left is the main character, by the way. The general is talking. You can tell by the exclamation point above his head. In the game, it appears when people are talking, usually, but I think it's funny they didn't turn it off for the recording. Speaking of, sometimes there's a little box in the upper right corner that says log. I don't know what that's from. A bunch of goobers made this game. Anyway, there's a close-up of an enemy trooper. I like his face. I like his goggles. Then there's an in-game shot of the main character bothering these two people as they walk by. I think the camera is a little shaky here. It's an in-game shot, so he's just walking around, and they recorded it. There's exclamation points above their heads as they walk by. Also, they're saying something to you. Concept art of the general zooms by, so I guess he's important. You know, I've seen him 3 times now. He gets overlaid onto a CG render of one of the later levels of the game, where you jump on fans and stuff. You like jump on the fans. Immediately, like before you have time to react, the main character turns 2 enemy soldiers into little giblets. This game's really, really violent, as was the style at the time. Third-person shot of the main character walking down the hall. This game had a very basic third-person view. The cursor was directly behind the main character's head, and you couldn't really change that. It's not easy to play with this camera. The main character aims a sniper rifle, and it shows that off. Now we know that there's like different guns, you know. I've seen a couple different guns at this point. And we watch the guards shuffle around a bit also. It shows off that the enemies will attempt to avoid your attacks, you know. After we get a cool shot of a robot firing rockets as he's running down the street, anime style, you know. He's not shooting anything, but it's cool. I love the animation afterwards of the robot doing some karate kicks. Thanks, Matt Allen. I bet that was him. I bet you did that. Good job. Like, that's a cool robot. He's doing some cool kicks. Next we see what I assume is supposed to be a child, but wow, this kid has no polygons. Look at him. Look at him go. He's gonna dunk that basketball he don't have. What part of the game is this? I don't even remember this. Main character blows up a guy with a rocket launcher and just destroys everything in the room. He's just out of the radius of getting hurt also, by the way. Damn. That guy just died. Another shot of a robot shooting missiles while strafing down the street while the chorus kicks in. Again, he's not firing at anything in particular, but it's awesome. Then right after there's a shot of him firing this funky looking rifle, and it's like, yeah, okay, he's shooting at guys that time, that's for sure. Next is the part I like, because we have a developer struggling with the third-person controls and desperately trying to hit the enemy, despite not being able to see them beyond the main character's head. Like, watch him. Watch him, he shoots too low because the aiming is all fucked up. He kind of brings it back by nailing the second shot into the doorway. I don't know if this took multiple tries, or if this was the first time he tried it, but nobody plays the game with this camera. It sucks. There's another shot of war and battle, and then an awkward shot of a robot fighting a spider mechanoid where the camera doesn't really get a good shot of either of these things. Followed by a close-up of the spider bot, and he shoots at the camera. Immediately after, we see the main character just shooting some innocent guy trying to get a hamburger. I'm not joking. This guy was unarmed. Don't hurt the lady, man. Just get your burger. Likewise, I'm not entirely convinced the next victim was guilty of any crime either. He might have just been standing there. He might have just been going home to his family on the subway. The game kind of lets you kill whoever you want. It's kind of funny. Characters' faces, of which I assume great importance, float over each other, while a robot in the background looks around a city. This kind of does a 360. And then that fades to a brave split-screen CG render of a ship exploding, like a command center or possibly another ship on the bottom, maybe the ones that exploded the ship in the first place. The main character absolutely just riddles the next dude full of holes, while there's a lady watching him do it. I don't know what to say, and it's just like... Again, we have robots firing missiles at nothing, but it's cool, so shut up. At least when these guys fire rockets at the main character, they're actually shooting at something, so, you know. We get one. I love the next shot of these 3 guards wiggling down the hall, kind of clipping into each other a little bit. The grid area shot also is really cool, actually. I like this. God damn it, there's more missiles being shot at nothing. Just a whole lot of robots running and shooting missiles at nothing It's fine. It's just funny to me. And to wrap it up, we have a rocket explosion, a sniper rifle shot to a robot torso. Why is he bleeding? Another explosion that's way too close to the main character. Like you would explode too and have to reload your game. And then a smug look back at the camera before the main character threatens a man with a shotgun. And then the entire city explodes. Shogo! Good intro. I didn't mention it too much, but the music here really helps sell everything for me. Having this cheery, hopeful anime song playing over like gratuitous displays of violence and wanton destruction is hilarious. Everything is synced and edited well. Concept art and CG renders are used tastefully. They look nice. The intro shows off a bunch of aspects of the gameplay and like things you can do, weapons you can use, how destructive they are, and yeah, it just shows off the violence a lot. Like I said, a bunch of goobers made this. It's clearly had a lot of fun putting this together. The game itself is really, really good. You should play Shogo. It doesn't take itself all that seriously. It's not, even the credits go on longer than they should, and they just kind of start, the credits just kind of start talking to you, and then they start telling you a story, and it just goes on and on. Like, who wrote all this? Shogo's intro gets an A. Great game. Great intro. I don't give it an A+, because there's a couple shots where the camera work is a little iffy, but it's 1998, or whatever. I'll give them a little pass, you know? It's still early 3D stuff. But I like it a lot. And thank you for watching. Subscribe if you love intro movies. I got a lot of ideas for the future. I can make more of these. I know it's not the highest quality stuff right now, but I'm working on it. You know, I'm doing my best. But I'm going to be talking about stuff like, you know, Dragon Ball Z's got a lot of intros, Tekken's got a lot of intros, Final Fantasy. Namco in general just has a lot of games with a lot of good intros. I could make a lot of videos on this topic. Analyzing them is kind of fun. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Everything I make will be, you know, generally like this. Maybe higher quality in the future. I don't know how this audio came out. All the intros I talk about will have some amount of compression, however. I don't know how to end a video. Thank you for watching. Fuck yeah, intro movies are awesome.